I'm back, and you're back. Thanks for showing up. This is Seattle Connected, the show that connects you with entrepreneurs, business people, movers and shakers in our community, letting you know who they are first before they become household names, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's official. Today's guest with me, my official guest, is, let's see, a woman of all trades, a Jill of all trades. She is all about empowering others. She's helping others find their inner talents that they might have not known that they had, but she's helping you nurture them so they can grow and blossom like the special person that they are from young to old. She's always out there in the community helping every time I see her. And one thing is certain, she's always going to show up and show out and show that beautiful smile that she has. Please give it up for a community leader, activist, and choreographer, Miss India. What's up, India?
Hey.
How was the intro?
Huh?
How was the intro?
Oh, the intro was fabulous.
Was it? Okay, good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, those boots are fire.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Gives me the Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson vibes.
Okay. What size? What size are you?
9
9. Women or men?
women.
Okay.
Yes,
Mhm.
I love them as dancers. They inspire me to dance. Uh, Definitely. Since I was a kid, I've always like looked to. Well, it was Michael Jackson first,
Of
then
course.
Janet, then
Yeah.
Sierra. Like Sierra paves the way for
The,
dancers like me that feminine, but also bring in crump as
Mhm.
well. And so that's what I just love
Mm.
about Sierra.
Can you dance in those?
Well, I've been wearing them a little bit more often since I got them, just so I can break them in. I haven't tried to dance in these yet,
Yeah.
but combat boots is definitely my go-to in my hip hop sneakers. So.
Yeah. Are you ready for war? You ready to get it? Whatever.
Yes.
You got served. That's what's up. That's what's up, India. So, India, are you from Washington?
Yes, I am.
Really?
Yes,
What part?
Tacoma.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
born and raised in Tacoma. My parents, I have grown up in a broken household, so like I have been traveling to Mobile, Alabama when I was a kid. My grandparents helped me a lot every summer, and my family down in the South, and so like I wouldn't be who I am today without my family in the South.
Yeah.
But I'm born and raised here, Tacoma, all the way up to high school and college. I went to Lakes, involved in sports, and
Okay.
then I attended University of Washington, Tacoma for my bachelor's and my master's in social work.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Everybody that I have encountered throughout my school at Lakes as well as through college have definitely made an impact in my social work career
Yeah.
and my roots in the community.
Mm.
So
How was those summers in Alabama?
my grandpa, his name Hazel Chapman. So me and him used to have our conversations about racial disproportionality, social justice, because he marched with Dr. King back in the day, Selma and all
Wow.
that, and so my advocacy I get from him, and my grandma. G Madi and my granny, my cousins, like we'll all just get together back then, and we'll just like hang out and kick in, and that was like my safe space back then. It was like a home away from home for me,
Mm.
and they always supported my dance. They always encouraged me, and also just like been there for me and shown me love
Yeah.
in a different way than what I've experienced in my own household
Okay.
here. So it's been a while since I visited them, so definitely like overdue for a visit. No doubt
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. Shout out to
Um,
them.
So like I love and miss them very much, but I wouldn't be like who I am without them. So
Yeah. So when did you get into dance? Was that something that you cannot remember not doing, or was it like a certain point in your life that?
uh shoot. That was real deep because like back then when my parents were going through their divorce, music, and I was introduced to Michael Jackson at that time when I was little. So
Mhm.
the Charlestown daycare. This is just so funny. The Michael Jackson movie where they showed his life, and then the Thriller. Like
Yeah.
I learned the Michael Jackson spin during recess time, and so ever since then, I've been. He was my first CD, my first concert. I studied and learned his moves, which has inspired my style in hip hop with the pop and lock and my style of dance. But I also raised in a church, also learned praise dance as well, and so I combine hip hop and praise dance in my style. I'm self taught, and as well as I also got introduced into crumping as well growing up. So my friend Leo, everybody knows him. His name is Charles Carson, but he goes by Leo. He nicknamed me Girl Leo, and it was just so funny because I didn't know what I was doing when I started. I think I was just like barely graduated high school when I met him, but he was teaching me crump, and I was one of the few female crumpers in Tacoma, and we used to battle in Seattle. We used to do the all styles.
You just said that because it rhymed. Stop. We used to battle in Seattle. We used to take people's lunch money. We used to, no, you're bullies.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Like, this is just going through memory lane. Like, it's been a minute since
like,
I told this
wow.
story, but just like,
Shout out to Leo.
like Leo has impacted me in my dance style with crump, and I got into studio dance and at Freedom Dance Center. They recently just closed, so I am sad about that. But they also made an impact as teaching me choreography and learning the technicality, musicality in dance. Like, I know I'm like speaking like the dance vocabulary here, but
no, I got what you. I know what you're saying.
But just like just being exposed to those different people has challenged me in dance and has grown my passion in dance. But what I've been through personally has impacted my working with the youth in the community.
Yeah, it's a form of expression. It is art.
Yes.
You know, it's one of those things, like, even if you can't paint, you can still recognize something that's beautiful. You know, like, I can't dance as good as you. We can, I mean,
you can do a two-step.
It's whatever you want to do, but yeah, I'm calling you out. But but I can tell someone who really puts a lot into their craft, like that event that we were both at. You were going in. First you were all like really quiet and stuff. I'm like, is she really gonna perform? And then, like, you went up there and just became like a different person. So okay, I see. She was ready. It was just showtime. But India, so at a certain point, you know, you're dancing, you're doing your battles in Seattle, and you know, you calling out people on MySpace, right? And at a certain point, you started to teach others. Mm-hmm. When did that happen, and what brought that on? Because I know a lot of us can do stuff, but to be at a point where we're like, I want to teach others this skill, how did that come about?
I prior to going to UW Tacoma for my bachelor's, I was at PLU. I used to be a Boys and Girls Club kid, and so they helped me take care of some situation that I need to take care of at PLU in order to transfer at UW Tacoma. And so part of the condition was that I worked at the Boys and Girls Club, and so and it really helped me out because of the fact that I was able to give back to what they have given to me when I was a club kid.
Yeah.
And I was hired on as a program specialist at Henry T. Schatz Boys and Girls Club, and I also helped out as well as coordinated the performing arts at Eastside, the old Eastside, prior to it becoming the new Eastside Tacoma that we now know. Eastside Community Center, I believe that's what they call it now, Boys and Girls Club, the new Eastside. And so back then, I was teaching them hip hop, I mime, freestyle, I coordinated their performances. And the more that I was getting into teaching at the Boys and Girls Club, like, I have been seeing how the dance program has been making an impact with the kids. And even, for example, like uh, I had a student where she was known for getting in trouble and being a bully, right? Like, she came into my dance room and I played a song. It was Lip Gloss. And she just started like dancing to it. I was like, oh, okay, I see you.
Mm.
And so, like, I said, like, hey, like, why don't you get some of your friends and bring them on in and, like, put your choreography together, work it out, teach it to your friends, and then perform it. And she was like, all right, bet. So, uh, the skill, like, even though that she got in trouble back then, like, she took those skills as a leader, and she
Mm.
also,
Yeah.
like, developed friendships, like, through teaching, like, healthier friendships by taking those skills and doing, like, instead of like being like nah 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 nah, like calling you out your name, she was like having fun, she was
Yeah. She
smiling.
transformed that negative energy into
Yes.
positive energy, and
Yes, and I was like, okay, this is working for that was a success story. And then like another kid was like, he was shy, but over here like leading his own choreography,
mm.
and the boys even got into it. So it's just like, um, from from being at the Boys and Girls Club, teaching for almost 7 years prior to transitioning to Department of Children, Youth, and Families, like the kids have gained so much, and they performed throughout the whole year. They had talent showcase. They sang. I introduced them to prots. I even brought in like different volunteers from. Um, the volunteers were my dance friends. So whether that was crumpers, that was hip hop dancers, like anybody in the community that was willing to teach, I brought them in to just expose them to different forms of the arts.
Mm.
And so that pushed them, that educated them, that kept them out of trouble. That the dance room was a safe space and a home away from home for them, because at the end of the day, they still went back to whatever situation that made it. Wasn't every household, but like some households, I have heard that some of them were foster kids or going home to whatever struggle that they may have been. So the dance room was their safe space. That's where they can be kids. That's where they were having fun. And so my story ended up being like my drive to like help teach the kids to get them out of their situation and for them to see that there's possibilities beyond what they're going through.
Mm.
And so that was the whole purpose of my dance program back then.
So your dance program was all about empowering them, and no matter what they might face at home, you were encouraging them to be fearless.
Yes.
You like that segue? Fearless.
Yes, we're fearless.
Yes. Fearless. Let's get it. So, Fearless Dance.
Yes, Fearless Dance Studio. I just I started that 2 years ago, so it's 2 years old now. And when I initially started, I had at least 5 to 10 kids my first year. My kids have performed all over Washington, whether that was at church or community events like Juneteenth. Like they have performed from their school where it's like 500 people or 200 something, wherever that may be, to up to over 1,000. And then this year, and it's just amazing because I'm still processing it myself, and I don't think that I had a chance to like really soak in how much it's grown, because I started an after school program through my partnership through Tacoma Arts Live, and I've had 2 schools Monday through Thursday where I was teaching them dance 3 to 6 p.m. and they were capacity at both schools. I've even had a waiting list at even in the Clover Park School District. And one of the highlights from this year was the UW Tacoma Husky Festival performance, where I combined all my students from my after school program as well as my studio students. and they performed at least a 10 to 20-minute set, and the kids killed it. I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. You was like, those are my babies.
They are. They are.
How many kids?
So I have so this year I would say that I had at least 40 to 60 kids throughout this whole year. I just have 2 graduating seniors that are now my alumni now. So one of them is going off to PLU. I'm gonna miss her.
Oh boy.
And the other one's going to University of Southern California. So I got 2 alumni, but the rest of my students, they my studio students, I have 20 students that have been rocking with me ever since school let out. And they have been booked at least 5 shows in June, 2 in July. We've been performing almost every weekend this August. And so the kids have been killing it all across the board. So I had at least 20 to 60 kids that I've worked with throughout this whole year. And it's just been amazing, and I'm still processing.
Yeah.
But they just been rocking it this whole year.
Yeah. Wow. I could tell you're like a proud mom. Just like, oh.
They're my dancing babies.
Yeah. And especially when you see where some of them have come from,
Yeah.
like as far as like their growth and developing their skills and confidence.
Yes.
And you're like, I remember when they were all shy, and now they just leading the pack, and
Yes.
that's a good feeling, right?
Yes, let me tell you,
Go
like, like, we'll just say like some of my students from Park Lodge, like they haven't danced before, have not been to a dance studio before, and so I think some of them thought that my class was an art class because Tacoma Arts Live, they probably thought it was just art. They wasn't expecting dance, but I coordinated their performance at their school for their assembly, and they practiced, they were nervous, they sometimes were like, I don't think I can do this, but at the actual assembly, like, they were excited, they were still shy, but the excitement that they were getting ready to perform in front of their peers, their teachers, and everything like that, like, when they went out, they danced and they killed it. And
Yeah.
I don't even think that they realized how good they were until they finished the whole thing. Like, it was amazing. And what I've heard after the fact was like that the students were complimenting the kids that performed even weeks after the fact. Even some of the dancers that that never danced before, like, they came back by spring
That's
quarter,
dope. Yeah.
and then they came back by summer quarter for the summer season. And so I have seen their growth and progression, and even they started doing their own solos too. So when they could not do a solo before, they now can, and they wouldn't have signed up for a talent show if it wasn't for the experience in the dance program.
So is that when the jealousy started, when you were looking at them like, I can do that better, or were you like proud of them?
I was very proud.
Okay.
Like, I'm just happy that that they see themselves that, like, they can do this, and that they have gained so much confidence through the program. And it's not even just the kids at Park Lodge, my studio students, like Amani Hunt, like, she just came in. She previously was at Soda. She's going off to college. She would just come up with her own choreography. Charlotte, she was shy coming into the program, but has gained so much confidence and appreciated how much Fearless Dance has helped her in her growth. And even my students from Four Heroes, they would just like, they were just excited overall, and they came up with their own dance routines. I said, like, you're gonna go home, do your come up with your own choreography, show it to your team.
Yeah.
And some of them that, like, they were shy, but when they came out of it, they were just like, oh yeah, I got this, Miss India, I got this, coach. And so those experiences, like, that's a success for me. And that I'm proud of every single one of every one of them that has been a part of my program, whether it's been that one quarter or that performance. So I know I said a lot.
No, that's all good. That's important information. So, India, what's your last name?
Irons.
That's your real last name?
Yes.
That's like a superhero, like India Irons. Like, action figure. That's dope. That's really dope. Double I. India, being that you have such a giving heart, is that what led you to your other, I guess, profession, which is?
Yes, I'm a social worker at Mary Bridge Children's Hospital,
Okay.
and prior to that, I was a child family welfare services caseworker at Department of Children, Youth, and Families, and so the reason why I worked there prior to transitioning to Mary Bridge, it was at that time it was about reunifying families for me. It was about healing families and bringing families together. Everybody's familiar with CPS, where children are removed due to child abuse and neglect. And for me, growing up from a broken household, it was important for me to bring families together, and the healing process. And so, as a child family caseworker, I did a bit above and beyond working with the parents, trying to refer them services. There's a policy, for example, with active effort. So even though that a parent may not have identified as Native American, like I still did active effort, because the policy states that if a parent thinks that they have Native American ancestry in their family, the caseworker is mandated to do above and beyond to show the burden towards reunification for your caseload. But even despite the fact, regardless or not, that was the effort that I was doing for all my cases.
Gotcha.
And so so I did for 6 years, and I transitioned to the Department of Children, Youth, and Families, because at the same time that I was teaching the kids, like I previously mentioned that there were some students of mine that have experienced foster care or have been removed due to child abuse and neglect, and I wanted to address the families, the problems at home. So not just the dance room. So that's how I transitioned. So I stopped teaching for a period of time. And what I've encountered during the Department of Children, Youth, and Families was that there was some not they weren't on my caseload, but I've heard some of my previous students ended up being in foster care on some of my colleagues' caseload. So I've also heard many stories of the successes from my previous students, how they've grown up, they've gone to college, they've got into relationships, got kids, have their own families, all the things. But I've also heard some tragedies as well, where some kids were still in the streets. One of my previous students passed away in a gun violence in Puyallup, and he was actually one of the reasons why I got back into teaching, because like the kids needed COVID as well. That also did not help COVID. So like I felt like the youth needed like the program, not just my program, but just like opportunities to just get out of trouble, like to address the mental health needs.
Yeah.
Because the COVID really didn't help, and then seeing that it has impacted them socially and their anxiety, the social anxiety, the lack of confidence,
or being in homes that aren't the best place for them. They don't have that, that break.
That. Yes.
Yeah. So
it was stories like that inspired me to teach again. So which I started Fearless Dance Studio. But I also, at the same time, transitioned into Mary Bridge Children's Hospital. And what I do there is that the teenagers that come in that struggle with suicide, depression, anxiety, I would do their mental health assessments and refer them to treatment, work with the families to explore options, like make sure that they can utilize the resources in the community to manage safety in their home. But if a child is really severe with potentially taking their own life, then I may have to refer more higher level of care. And so I do deal with heavy stuff, death, trauma, child abuse, neglect, anything that comes into the hospital, I address.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. I know that type of work can be rewarding, on one end, but how emotionally draining is it sometimes? Some of these cases that just have you just like, you just want to give them a hug or just wash everything away, because you can only imagine like what you went through and you were able to make it, but then you look at some of these other kids who might be in a worse situation than what you experienced, and they could be the sweetest kid and you're just like, God, I just wish there was more we could do for them. Like, is it hard to be involved but not too involved, you know what I mean, like emotionally? Because I don't know, like, I'll let you explain it. Like, what's that like?
It can be hard.
Yeah.
It's because the kids are like, they have their stories that they deal with, and so like I want to do everything that I can for them to the best of my ability. But I also have to, as a social worker, maintain the boundary.
Yeah.
And so, so even though that in that moment, I'm hearing their story, like I try my best to speak life into them to the best of my ability if I can, and try to encourage them, because I don't see what happens after they leave the hospital or after they discharge. And so my prayer is that that I hope that whatever I did in that moment could be a change in their trajectory. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Trajectory.
In their life. But I also recognize that I need to take time for myself as well, because what I do is hard, and the stories that I hear is hard. It's not easy working with like I have to encourage myself, and like I have to come in with a lightness, and because with working with suicide, that's the end, that's death. And so so I try my best to come in with a different perspective, that there's something else at the end of the tunnel, that I am a believer. I do believe in God, and so it's not that I don't shove God in anyone's throats. Like I can't bring my beliefs in the workplace,
Right.
but I try to encourage some lightness into their lives in that moment to the best of my ability when I'm working with every family. But at the end of working with the family, I do have to take that time for myself as well, because it's not easy. And so like I have to like eat, I have to sleep, I had to hang out with my friends, I need to talk to somebody,
just decompress.
Yes, decompress. I have to walk away for a minute. So those are just different things that I try to put parameters in place to make sure that I'm able to sustain and keep the longevity in working in the social work field.
So you can be at your best, so you can be there for them and, every way they need, but not completely drain yourself. Yeah. And then that's when that fearless part of you comes in, right?
Yes.
And start coming up with new routines. Yeah, that's social work. That takes a different person to be able to handle what you experience. So I wish I had a hat on so I could take my hat off to you for that. But yeah, I commend you for that. So you've been doing this work for what, probably like 10 years now?
Yeah. after graduating high school, I Boys and Girls Club nonprofit, so it's been over 10 years.
Wow.
Yes, and then transitioning to Department of Children, Youth, and Families, and now Mary Bridge. It's been a long time, but I love what I do. I'm passionate what I do. I love working with the youth in the community. So,
because I was gonna say with that and Fearless Dance, like, do you sleep?
That's the question that I always
like, do you really? You're just running on a battery, or you're a hologram. This is AI. You're not really here, but you are here. It's like,
I do try my best to make time for sleep.
okay.
On the weeks that I work graveyard, I do sleep during the day.
Okay.
But I also I do run the after school program, so like it'd be a little bit less hours during the weeks that I do work graveyard sometimes. But I on my days off, like I'm recovering.
I'm off.
I'm
Yeah.
off. Don't talk
Yeah.
to me.
Remember, like, Bernie
Do
Mac?
not disturb.
Remember when Bernie Mac said that? He said, when we break, we break. It's
Yes.
like, we're out. Yeah.
Yes.
That's the same thing when you're off. You need to be off.
Yes.
So you can be at your best. So what's up next for Fearless Dance?
Oh yes. So yeah, we just performed yesterday. So our next performance for Fearless Dance Studio, we perform at the Hilltop Street Fair in Tacoma.
Okay. When is that?
That is August 24th. We perform at 1:30 p.m. and it's 11th MLK
Okay.
People's Center in Tacoma.
Okay.
So that's our next performance on the 24th. On the 31st, we are at Tupac.
Yeah, man.
Tacoma Urban.
Performing Arts Center.
Yes, Performing Arts Center.
Yeah, I went there.
And my students will be performing there at 1:30.
Okay.
And then September 8th, my students and myself, I'll be also performing. I didn't want to perform by myself, so I did recruit my kids to perform too.
Yeah.
But we will perform it at the Soul Food, at the Black Night Market, and
Is that what, September?
September 8th.
Okay.
I just can't remember at the top
That's
of my
all right.
head right now of where it's at.
Figure it
But
out.
look out for Soul Food.
Yeah.
And September 4th, with my collaboration with the Backstage Foundation, which is a nonprofit organization that works with dance studios to help provide funding and scholarships for youth to get access to dance. So they invited us to perform with them at the Puyallup Fair on September 14th at 6:30. So
Am I invited?
yes, of course.
All right, man. I wanted to make sure.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I don't need to participate, but I just want to see the show.
Yes.
And if you want me to participate, I'm not turning it down.
Okay, I got you.
So, are you asking me to participate?
Oh yeah, come on, do a little.
You don't
two-step.
have to throw me out there with a pity like, oh yeah, yeah, I'll show up. You know, what colors are we wearing?
You got red and black. Well, I see you got black jeans, so that's a start.
Yeah,
Black and white.
yeah, I got a lot of black and white.
Yeah, black and white.
Ton of blue. Okay,
Yep.
so that's on the 4th at the Puyallup Fair.
14th.
14th.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Man, so you guys stay busy all year round?
Yes. All year
Okay.
long. So the fall quarter does slow down. I not only teach them dance, but I also incorporate therapeutic tools for the kids. So during this fall quarter, I'll be spending time with the 11 through 18-year-olds just to work on mindfulness and working on the anxiety, like just giving them different tools and as well as dance. My younger students, like they get a touch of the therapeutic tools, but like this is like my 11 through 18-year-olds, like this is like their self-reflection, there's their emotional regulation, there's so I give them like the hands-on work as well as
Right.
dance to give them the tools so that way they can just like express themselves and have a healthy outlet. So the fall quarter, we will have performances like we're currently booking. So anyone that wants to book Fearless Dance Studio, like hit me up.
Yeah. So let them know how they can reach you if they want more information about Fearless Dance Studio, or they just want more information about India Irons and how they can support what you're doing for the community. So let them know how they can reach you.
Yes. So to reach out to me for bookings, fearlessdanceteam@gmail.com. You can also reach me 253. My business phone number. This is so funny.
It's all right.
Cause
While she looks for that number, Fearless Dance Studios in Tacoma.
yes, Fearless Dance Studio in Tacoma. My business phone number 253-987-8983, and my Instagram. Yeah.
Wow, you should know that off the top of your head. This is embarrassing. But anyway.
Fearless Dance, the _ co. That's my Instagram. And then you can find my Facebook business page, Fearless Dance Studio. So, and you can also find me on Facebook, India Irons, and follow my business page through there as well. So, yeah.
All right. And people can see if their kids could sign up for classes and all that stuff?
Yes,
Okay.
Absolutely. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Any
Yeah.
shout outs?
Shout outs. So first of all to God, because,
Yeah.
he's the big G-O. D.
Mhm.
All right. And just shout out to I give a shout out to the parents of my students, because like they are also part of the team as well. Like it takes a village to take care of the kids in the community. So I think my partnerships, Tacoma Arts Live, I think by the Black Business, Black Night Market, the churches that I've worked with in the community, Greater Destiny, Bishop White's church, just like everybody that has supported Fearless Dance Studio, as well as myself, the vision, the mission to empower youth in the community to overcome challenges beyond the stage. So everyone who has referred me, everyone that has booked me, everyone that has contracted me to teach their youth, or not only the youth, but I also teach adults as well. So everyone that has worked with me or has booked me, like I appreciate you all, because like Fearless Dance Studio, yes, is my vision, my mission, and my purpose to work with youth and community. But we also, I wouldn't have been here without you as well. So I appreciate you. So shout out to everybody.
And I'd like to give a shout out to you for doing the work, so you can be sitting in that chair. And if you don't hear it enough, which I'm sure you don't, please keep up the work. It's so needed that we have people like you doing the work. You're doing it with a smile, and you're affecting more lives than I think you know now. But please keep it up, because they need people like you and look like them, showing that they care. Because once they leave, like you said, you don't know what they're going home to, but they can always reflect on the good times that they have with you and Fearless Dance, and project that energy on someone else in their life. So thank you, Miss India, and thanks for showing up.
I appreciate
Yes, come on. And I'll see you on the 14th.
Yes,
All
in
right.
your black and white uniform, get ready to do your little two-step.
Okay, I got it. Do I need to wear a tux? I have a tux.
Oh, you got tux? Come
Yeah,
on now.
I got a tux.
Yes.
I'll have a tux on with a black and white Mariners fitted. Woo. What? Stop
I'm
playing.
excited.
Stop playing. Thanks, India. And thank you guys for watching. Always, like I said, it's important to take care of others, but please, please make sure you take time to take care of yourself. Until next time, stay connected. Peace.